The Big Tiny, a memoir by Dee Williams on her tiny house experiences, out now. Be sure to check that out. Also, a shout to our friends at BlueMoonRising.org in Deep Creek Lake, Maryland, a tiny house eco resort that is just fantastic. Many, many tiny houses. Also, check out my book, a DIY concept and idea book on Amazon.com. Hey, I'm Deek Diedricksen from RelaxShacks.com. Hanging out here in Massachusetts, my backyard workshop, working on something that's a micropod or office for an NYU professor. We'll have a video on it down the road showing the full, complete build. Just wanted to show you an in-the-process kind of tour of it, if you will. These are the type structures I've been building for years and years with the homeless in mind. I've built a couple for the homeless in the past. Done some videos both for my channel. Subscribe if you'd be so kind, and for Make Magazine back in the day. So I've been building these since about 2008. Or so, and looking to build a couple more down the road, potentially in some of my workshops. Anyways, enough yakage. Here's what we're working on, all scavenged. Curb sale, as someone told me to call it, material, meaning it's found on the side of the road. The price is right. Here we go. Camera just blacked out for a second on me. But let me just give you a quick tour as to what's going on, what I'm doing. A lot of this stuff, like I said, it's free, so why not use it? Budget friendly. The light you can see through there, that's what I'm working on plugging up in the backside shortly. Scrap plywood. You can see a lot of seams up above. If you paint it though, blends in nicely, or more nicely, nicer. All these scraps in the back, I call this a wild wall. We've done this at a couple workshops, hands-on workshops in the past, RelaxShacks.com. Lots of scraps I have from previous projects and stuff I find on the side of the road. Pallet wood, barn wood, hack it up, in this case to 13-inch pieces. The back wall's 13 on center, just to fit these evenly in that back wall. Kind of the materials and lengths, they dictate the build. Window I just found on the side of the road, a big old sash, works nicely there. This flooring was junk from a house down the road. Doesn't do it justice in this picture, it's all covered in sawdust. Beadboard, it's pretty old. Cleaned it up, fixed it up. Whole thing's framed in 2x3s. I did buy a bunch of the 2x3s. Some have been recycled. This here, it's not installed yet. Stuff's pretty cool. Ondura Roofing, O-N-D-U-R-A, made in the USA and made with recycled product like magazines, glossy paper and such. So I'm a big fan of that. As we move around, some mill extras from Goodridge Lumber, Albany, Vermont. Here's how, let me squeeze by here. Here's how I took the window, kind of framed it out. External hinges, I usually hide them. I'm gonna actually hide them coming up. But here's how I made a sash into an openable window. On the back, this is pool liner. I have another video talking about the merits of using pool liner as roofing. Super affordable, cheap roofing. You can find this stuff everywhere. People are always throwing out above ground pools. Why not put it to use? So this will be covering up, all the gaps here. On the inside, if you want to hide the wild wall, naturally you could insulate this so easily. Wouldn't cost much money, wouldn't take much time. I'm going to trim off some of this Ondura roofing, but leave somewhat of an overhang. The stuff's rigid enough where you can leave it a good, 6-8 inches to keep water away from your siding. And you don't have to worry about it bending down or drooping in Salvador Dali fashion. It is on wheels. These were the wheels of another cabin I had way back called the Gypsy Junker. And a guy who bought it off me didn't take the wheels, which was awesome because now I've reused them. And I'm going to be building another one of these, perhaps, as I move around. This cabin behind me in the works too. It's called the Periscope. Going to be a art studio. But this cabin here, when we do our Tiny House Summer Camp 2 in August 2014, I might build another one of these where the front flips open with a Tuftex wall. Tuftex, by the way, this stuff here. I use the white translucent stuff. Flips open, becomes a micro stage for some of our live folk music at night after we do a lot of hands-on building, campfire discussions, demos, and all that. So I have another video on building this simple little door in there out of scraps, but just some ideas for you guys. I'm building a tiny little shelter or pod, potentially an application for the homeless. That would work rather well and is super cheap to build, seeing as it's more or less made with a lot of free materials. Like I said, upcoming video will tell you, or will show you, the end product when it's all gussied up. And that's it for now. Again, I'm Deek Diedricksen from RelaxShacks.com. Thanks for watching. See you.